Nah, I got the better parlay. Argue about the spread, it's a fierce debate. But when it comes to Wildcats, they align their fate. Blitz the bookies where the knowledge reigns. Charlie and Anthony bring the heat like flames. Talking parlays, breaking down the games. Kentucky Wildcats, they beat the same drums.
What's up, guys? The Blitz is back. Charlie Winkle here with Anthony Roberts and Josh Onan. Blitz the Bookie is back for another episode, and the right side of Kentucky sports returns this week as well.
Oh, yeah.
The Cats took a bye week last week, so we took off as well. We got a lot of stuff to catch up with on the right side of Kentucky sports. Looking forward to another good episode this week. Week 4 of the NFL, week 5 of college football. Probably going to be a NFL-heavy show this week since this past weekend we learned that Fernando Mendoza, he's your Heisman winner. Curt Cignetti, Coach of the Year, and the Indiana Hoosiers are your 2026 national champions. It's a wrap. Do we got to see anything else? Mick Foley told us, Cactus Jack, Mankind.
Dude Love.
Christian Watford, even Anthony and Josh told you that Indiana was the pick. Not only did they win, but they curb stomped Illinois. What was the score? 60-something to 3, 63 to 10?
Dog walked them.
Guys, can anybody beat Indiana, or can we just focus on the NFL the rest of the year?
Hoosiers are good. They were good last year. The guy can coach. The guy can coach.
They beat the brakes off of them.
I mean, we thought Illinois was good.
You know, I didn't know about Cignetti first, and Charlie kind of put me on him a little bit. And I watched him coach. Dude, I knew right away. He's sharp.
He's going to be the hot commodity here.
Dude, they got him sold up. They're going to pay.
People be coming after him.
Yeah, Indiana's got money on.
Clemson might come after him here pretty soon.
He's a Hoosier. It's going to be tough to pull him away from there.
I was so surprised when he signed that big contract last year. I guess that's, getting him some guaranteed money. But, yeah, they signed him up last year to a pretty big buyout. So,
I mean, did anybody expect that?
Was that Cignetti?
I mean, that win like that dominant.
Like that.
I mean, we really thought Illinois was good. I mean, I picked the Hoosiers and thought they would win being at home, but we all thought Illinois was better than that.
Yeah, and listen, don't get me wrong. I didn't think the game was going like that. I just think he's a great coach. It didn't surprise me once it happened. Did I think that was going to happen? No, I would have put the house on it. But the guy's amazing, dude.
And we always talk about like teams regressing on the show. They're not.
I'm Googling.
I mean, that's crazy.
Year 2 does not seem like a regression for Cignetti.
And I thought the way his schedule was last year played out for him, the way he racked up all those wins at the beginning of the season. This year he's kind of done the same thing, but I thought maybe seeing a team that I thought was good like Illinois, maybe they would punch them in the face and bring Indiana back to who we thought they were. But that team's quality. It's a good team.
Let me tell you what he's doing is he's evaluating talent well. He's bringing in good players. That's kind of the key. Every year is a new year in this NIL era. He's a good evaluator of talent.
Yeah, I'm kind of mad at myself for jumping on the Illinois bandwagon. I guess it's just because I bet him a couple times this year. I loved Indiana last year, and I was on them early. I'm back on. I'm back on Indiana. I like him, and I do like the coach too. I'm Cignetti. I think everybody. I don't care what his buyout is or what his contract is. Some big teams are going to come after him.
He will cover for your ass too. He will run some scores up. He will cover for you.
Yeah, well, he didn't for me like second game against Kennesaw State, so I kind of hopped off the bet in Indiana. But they dominated Indiana State by like 70, and then they beat the brakes off of Illinois. I mean, Indiana Hoosiers, I'm proud of y'all. For
a lot of people don't like him.
Listeners.
People says he's a prick, and like people that aren't IU fans. There's a big following out there that does not like him.
Well, you can be a prick when you win.
That's right. You can. No, you're absolutely right, Josh. I say that all the time. Winning solves everything. You start losing, people ain't gonna like you. It don't matter if the fans like you or not. Winning solves everything.
Yep.
Losing, get you fired.
Is Indiana a football school now? They haven't been a basketball school in like 20, 30 years, but if they're known for anything, it's basketball. Are they a football school now?
I think so.
Coming close.
Hey, they're spending money.
As bad as they've been in basketball for the last couple decades, it ain't going to take too many good seasons in football for them to become a football school.
The only people that say college basketball is better than college football is people that ain't good at college football. Like I just tell you,
minus 4 teams: Kentucky, Kansas.
You seen what Kentucky
North
did
Carolina.
when they started getting good at football?
Kentucky's still a basketball school.
Yeah, but
always will be.
I feel like for what Kentucky's done, I feel like they support their football program really well.
Oh, they should, and they better. You don't want to fall behind in football, but we're already behind. We can't fall too much more behind than we already are.
Nope.
But yeah, I think there is we've talked about it, select couple of schools that, Kentucky, Kansas, North Carolina, that they'll always be basketball schools, I think.
I think it's easier to be good at basketball just because the numbers in today's NIL era, it's a lot more expensive to buy a big-time football team than a basketball team.
So main takeaway college football this week, Josh.
Main takeaway is I still think Oklahoma is really good.
That was a good game.
It was a good game.
I like them. I like their defensive line. They sacked Jackson Arnold 10 times. Me and Anthony talked about this earlier. Oklahoma's been really lucky playing these two tough games at home. That's a tough place to play. Once they get on the road, let's see what they can prove. But I still am riding the Oklahoma ship right now.
You know how I talked about the two quarterbacks being very similar. Their stats were very similar. Use their legs very effectively. I think they both had a touchdown and 60 or 70 yards on the ground. Mateer did throw for maybe 40 or 50 more yards. But I like both of those teams. Anthony, I'll let you talk about the game for a minute before we get into the controversy in this game, because there was some. But what did you think about the game besides the controversy?
I didn't watch a lot of it live, but I did go back and watch it. Condensed version, but I watched all the plays. And I did go back and watch the pivotal moments in live because I wanted to see how loud the crowd was during that moment. And I think Oklahoma's a very good team. I take nothing away from them because I think very highly of Auburn. I think Auburn outplayed them.
Both quality teams.
No, they weren't.
Teams,
I will say that. I think Auburn outplayed them. It was on the road. A lot of
you put both of them top 15?
I think top 10.
Yeah,
top 10.
I agree.
I'm with you.
Cam Coleman on the outside for Auburn is nasty.
Oklahoma pretty much shut down their offense to the very end. They got that one touchdown because it was a fumble, and then they had that trick play that shouldn't have counted. The SEC's come out and said that, which got a guy wide open. But, at the end, they got the touchdowns. But I was impressed with Oklahoma's defense. But I just was really impressed with how Auburn was able to go on the road in that environment. And I feel like a lot of people wasn't giving Auburn a chance. I really thought they outplayed them. They got beat, though. And so on the scoreboard, Oklahoma's the winner. But there definitely was a lot of controversy in that game. But two very high-quality ball clubs. What scares me with Auburn, Oklahoma did sack them 10 times. What happens if they don't sack them 10 times? So what happens if Auburn can get that run game established, which they weren't able to do? They might have run Oklahoma out of the gym. 10 sacks is huge.
Another thing, I wish I knew the stat on this. I'm sure we could look it up, but it kind of came to me on my way over here. But a lot of times when Auburn was starting a big drive, which was most of the day, they started behind the sticks with penalties.
Oh, yeah.
2 or 3 yard loss on a run, a sack.
So you watched it live.
Yes.
How much did the crowd affect the game?
At the beginning, 100%.
They said that they were in Jackson Arnold's head because, he played at Oklahoma. They said they were chanting, Jackson Arnold sucks. They just were relentless with him. And they said it got in his head a little bit. Did you see that at all?
I thought it affected the whole team. There was a lot of confusion at the line.
They say it was a big part of what, like pass protections, not being able to get the run game going. They said it was just deafening in there. At one point, it was the loudest measured in so many games in college football.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Two quality ball clubs.
It was. I really
like
both
what makes
those
college
teams.
Football fun. Right there is what makes college football fun.
Those are two real good teams.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, did you mention that both of Oklahoma's big games have been at home?
Yes,
Well, Auburn's, both of their big games so far have been on the road. So they're already tested early in the season. Who'd they play?
Baylor. They went in Waco.
Yeah, at Baylor. So two tough games on the road already for Auburn.
And the thing about the SEC, as good as they are, as good as Oklahoma is, there's about 7 more really good teams in the SEC. I do think the Big Ten is really strong at the top, but the depth of the SEC, it's not being an SEC homer, it's just the depth. I think a team like Kentucky, actually think we have a good team this year. But, man, when I look at our schedule and the depth, it's scary. I think there's a lot of good teams that are going to end up with maybe not good records.
I think Cam Coleman on the outside for Auburn, that receiver, he's –
they got Singleton, Horton. They're loaded themselves.
NFL talent. That's –
you get sacked 10 times and you still got a chance to win that game. And you had a couple things taken away on the road. I think that says a lot about Auburn. That's kind of how I analyze games is what if not? What if not?
10 sacks is unbelievable.
And to still maybe should have won the game.
But Auburn's supposed to have one of the best offensive lines in the SEC.
They did.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I did hear that Arnold was holding on to the ball a little bit long, but they said the crowd was relentless on him, dude. They were chanting shit at him all night. I'll tell you, the 2 Oklahoma games I've watched, that might be one of the louder crowds in the country. It broke some records, I think, on the little scale they got.
Well, they had a rough debut for the SEC last year. They're looking.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They got a good team now. They're ready to rock and roll.
Yeah. They had a lot of injuries last year. They had like a crazy amount of injuries.
And that defense is relentless. I say it every week. I mean,
it is good.
Bryce Underwood, that was his first test on the road when Michigan played there. It shook him because he looked good, and I think that helped him this week going on the road to Nebraska. Already seeing an environment like that.
I agree with that.
I thought he looked a lot better.
I would like to see them play a really good team, but without that advantage, because I do think that's a big advantage when you have that.
I'm sure to be coming soon.
Yeah, I think they're off this week, and I think they're at Texas.
Okay, that'd be a big one. There it is. Yeah.
Before we jump on, speaking of Auburn, you heard about Bruce Pearl?
I already retired.
He retired.
My son.
Did you hear that? Mm-hmm. Retired today, unexpectedly. He's going to politics.
Yes, and then
he's definitely going to politics. And then I guess he somehow set it up.
His son is 38 years old. Is going to be the coach.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
That's probably why.
Dude's never been a head coach in his life.
That's why he did it.
I feel like he set that up.
Yeah. He might come back.
We're a month before the season starts. Season starts in about 4 weeks.
He wouldn't set his son with a weak team, I don't think. I don't know. Like, because I've seen coaches retire because they don't think they're going to have a good team.
Yeah, but how's his recruits going? Well, maybe the recruits already knew. But
it's about the money. It's about the money. They get check cleared.
You think the recruits, that's a good question. You think the recruits knew that he was about to leave and knew what all was going on?
I think it's a small part about who's going to be the coach. Don't get me wrong. I do think it matters some. But last year, Auburn was one of those teams like Kentucky that was really old. When you get really old guys, dude, they're not playing for the NBA. They're playing for money. Or they'd already be in the NBA.
I'm saying the team he's got coming in this year, the new players on the team, they probably had a lot of turnover because they were so old of a team. You think those recruits knew, hey, here in about a month, I'm going to go ahead and retire and hand this over to my son? Because if not, I'm sure they're not happy. But if they did know, I'll give them props for keeping it quiet, because you can almost keep nothing quiet these days. But you know, if like 5 or 6 recruits knew that Bruce Pearl was about to retire, and that didn't leak out, you know, so I don't know. Do you think the recruits knew?
I think years ago it would have really mattered, but today, maybe if the check clears the bank, they're good. I don't know. Do they take money back because Bruce retires, or does the funding drop because it's the son? I don't. That's a lot of good questions. I don't know.
I have no idea what's going on. I'm confused as hell. I mean, like if he does it a month ago, but then those guys could transfer. So did he wait this long? So these guys have been in school for a month, 6 weeks.
That's what I'm saying.
He do that on purpose for his boy,
right?
If he did, that's dirty.
Dude's never called a timeout in his life, and now he's coaching a freaking top program.
He likes to go.
You know they got to be a top 10 or top 20 team.
Guy can coach.
That's like you quitting the Blitz tomorrow and say, "All right, little Charlie, you're the head coach now, player coach."
You know what I always liked about him is that he always kind of lobbied for the Kentucky job, and Barnhart's I guess a man. He thinks he's too good for Bruce, but he always lobbied for the job secretly. He would make little comments how Kentucky were the best fans in college basketball. He wanted the job. The guy would have been a hell of a coach here.
I can promise you this: if he got the Kentucky job a year ago, he wouldn't be retiring right now.
No,
he'd coach until he couldn't coach anymore.
You know,
because he is one that wanted this job.
Yeah.
I think he would have fit too.
You know, Bo Ryan at Wisconsin, he did that for his assistant. He retired so his longtime assistant could take over, younger guy. So
that stuff never works. I mean,
it don't, but I like it. I like you watching out for your dude that's been with you. Hell with what everybody thinks.
The only one I can think that off the top of my head recently that has worked is John Shire's looking okay. But
yes, that's probably the best.
Yeah, most of the time it doesn't work very well. All right, main takeaway.
That was Oklahoma.
That's what I did. I did Oklahoma.
Yours was Oklahoma.
Yeah, Oklahoma.
What do you got, Anthony?
For me, the Miami Hurricane offense and defensive line is freaky good. Both sides of the ball. And I'm a line of scrimmage guy. I just am. If you could challenge their DBs, I think their DBs are gettable. I think that's shown, but you can't even get enough time. I mean, Florida has a really good offensive line. And, dude, I'm telling you, they run – I'm not taking up for my boy DJ. They run that son of a bitch before he could blink. I mean, you got to try to make them pay for that. And on the offensive side of the ball, dude, their offensive line, this is no hate on Carson Beck. He's having a good year. When you get pressure on him, he throws wild balls. But I'm telling you, he has got the cleanest pocket I've seen of any college quarterback in a long time.
I mean, just look what they did to Florida. I got some stats here. Lagway was 12 of 21, 61 yards passing. How many yards rushing do you think they had as a team? 80.
Well, Their front
141
seven's
yards
good.
offense.
You know what it's going to take to challenge them? A team that can keep that defensive line, because their DBs, that is the spot that's gettable on their team. But their front seven's so good, that linebacker core and defensive line. And then on the other end of it, somebody that can get pressure on the quarterback. Carson Beck, that's his thing. When you give him time, he's super accurate. He can get through the progressions. But when you get pressure, that's when you see it. When people's got pressure, that's when he's thrown the interceptions this year. But who can get pressure? Who can get pressure?
And Lagway was rushing all game.
Oh, yeah.
No time.
You would have been too.
Right.
You would have been, hey, dude, I'm telling you.
I'm 5'7".
I had Florida in that game, and I remember looking up thinking, no way. There's no way. I mean, I was hoping.
Too much speed on that line.
There was no way.
So I heard there was some controversy in this game.
I don't know what it was.
Ref-wise.
In Miami, Florida?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It didn't cost them the game.
Did y'all not hear about that?
No.
I didn't see it either, but I did hear a couple people talking about it today.
I don't know. When you got 60 yards passing, 8 yards rushing, the refs,
you don't have no argument.
Did a lot better job.
Yeah, you don't have no argument.
I did hear something about that game. My main takeaway is Indiana. I feel like they were the big story of college football this weekend. They look great. Signetti, he's going to be a hot commodity. Can somebody pay the buyout and get him? I have no clue. I wish Kentucky would do it.
Does he want to go somewhere else? He's always been a little different. He left Saban really early in his career. Like, he took a big chance to go on his own.
It'd be hard to turn down a job at Alabama or Clemson, though.
Yeah.
Some Clemson fans are maybe getting a little tired of old Dabo right now. They're getting restless down there. I've already heard them flipping the script on the whole transfer portal, and he needs to do that. It's not going to work.
They got some injuries.
You never know. His time might have ran out. You never know. Dabo's a good coach, but maybe his time's run out. And I would say everybody's first call is probably going to be that guy. Who's a hotter coach right now?
No, nobody. As far as if I was picking somebody to start a program tomorrow and he wanted to coach for me,
he's the first call.
Maybe even Kirby Smart, but you ain't getting Kirby Smart. You ain't getting Kirby Smart.
A guy, a gettable guy.
Yeah. So that's my main takeaway. Indiana, they look good. They got a big game. While we're on Indiana, I guess this is going to be their first big road test.
Yes, it is.
Iowa is not ranked, but at Iowa, never an easy feat to go into Iowa and play that style. I'm sure this will be a little contrast to style because Indiana wants to score, and Iowa normally, you know how they want to do. They want to ugly it up. So Indiana at Iowa, Indiana first road trip. What y'all thinking about this? Indiana keeps rolling. I mean, to me, they've already won the national championship. So I think this is an easy win.
Seed.
Yeah, I'm not going. I guess we're not making our picks till later, but hey, I'll give mine away right now. Indiana, they're going to roll.
What I did notice about
rolling.
What I noticed about Signetti's teams last year, I never thought they overlooked the next opponent. Like, I think that happens in programs. You can get a trap game, or you can get a game where you're riding high and you disappoint. I feel like that first year. Now, will this year be the same? I don't know. But I feel like after big wins, they were just as focused the next game. And that's a sign of a really good coach. He knows how to keep his team focused because that's a problem in the NFL. It's a problem everywhere. You start feeling good about yourself. Nick Saban always calls it, you start eating the rat poison. He was always big in his locker room, don't eat the rat poison. What he's saying is don't listen to everybody talk good about you. Don't get caught up in listening about yourself. Stay working, stay focused. I'm a big believer in that too. If I was ever blessed enough to coach a team, that's what I would focus on. This is what got us here. Stay focused.
I mean, it's going to take a lot for Iowa to overcome how many points Indiana's going to score. Iowa's put up some decent points the last few games. You know, I was kind of on Iowa that first week. Was it the first week when they played Iowa State, a rivalry game early?
Yeah.
And Iowa kept it close. They uglied it up. I mean, what was that final score? Like 17-14 or 19-15.
What else do you expect from an Iowa football game?
It's going to be a lot for Iowa to stay in this game. And if Indiana stays hot, there's no way.
Well, you usually like Iowa football.
Oh, I
Anthony.
do. But I just think, look, Signetti's been good to me once I jumped on. I'm a big fan of Signetti. I believe that he went and got the right talent. I ain't like diagnosed their roster or whatever, but I know what he did to James Madison. I know what I seen at Indiana. He was getting guys in Division IIs and stuff like that. They were spending, but buying guys that maybe aren't from the big programs. That's somebody that knows how to evaluate talent, in my opinion. And to me, that's the key to winning in today's college game. You're getting new teams every year, so you can't tell me that it's all system because they, used to be, well, this guy's been in the system 3 years. I'm telling you, for most of these teams, you're pay to play. I mean, that's what it is, and it's essentially, I think what kind of budget you have. And
biggest roster is not always the biggest payroll is
no,
not
I
always
agree.
going to win.
I agree, but with
you
the
can't, you
roster,
can't
gotta
miss
build
on
your team.
You can't miss on those $1 million players.
yeah.
You know?
Well, not unless you're Ohio State. Ohio State missed on a left tackle this year. The one from Rice, the big left tackle,
And
he didn't even start.
The more and more there are misses on big players like that, and the less money the donors will have over time.
But they hit on other ones. But like a team like that can miss because they've spent a lot. Teams like Kentucky, teams that are just spending middle of the road money, they can't miss. They got to hit on everything. You have a smaller budget, and so you just got to evaluate better. So,
yeah, I've never been a fan of Iowa football. It's not going to start this week. They did play Iowa State, but like you said, 16-13. That's the only way Iowa can win games. Unless they're playing a bad team, they have to muck it up and win a low-scoring game. They're going to have trouble with that this week, I believe. All right, next game. We have not talked. Have we even talked about this team yet this year? Ohio State.
Texas?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
first game. Yeah,
game.
It's been a month.
Yeah, it has been. Have they even played in a month? Did they get like a 3-week bye? I feel like, yeah. Ohio State at Washington. Washington's not ranked either, but they are 3-0. Had a rough year last year after Penix left. Who's Washington played so far this year?
They played Colorado State, beat them by 17.
Mm-hmm.
UC Davis, like 100. And Washington State, they beat them by
17.
So they have played
like
something like
nobody.
Something like that, yeah.
And Ohio State's coming off a bye here, aren't they?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, trouble.
Yeah, I agree. It's trouble. I mean, the quarterback for Washington's good, Damon Williams. He's got 6 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Is he?
Yeah, he's supposed to be pretty decent.
who'd
Good
they play?
athlete. He can run. He can run.
Who'd
I
they
know they
play,
lost
who'd
their-
they play again, Anthony?
Colorado State, Washington State, and UC Davis. I know Washington
Is he
State.
really good?
I mean, he threw 4 touchdowns last week. I mean, I don't know. I can't say.
Those are some
I've seen-
bad opponents right
Yeah.
there. I mean, Washington State, they're not any good. Are
How-
they out there in the
how would you-
Pac-2?
Well, how would you love to have Mateer in your offensive coordinator? I mean, that's the problem with those schools that don't have the funding, and you get a really good player, it's adios. And that's what sucks about NIL. I mean, Washington State probably would be
Washington
lined up-
State ain't got a chance until they get out of the Pac-2.
Well, they don't have a chance. If Oklahoma wants your quarterback, you don't have a chance if you're Washington State.
Yeah, it's going to
Who
be.
wants to go play for Washington State or Oregon State right now? I wouldn't say many people.
Not unless it's the
No, it's going to be an uphill battle for Washington against Ohio State.
Yeah.
Ohio State 9.5. I mean, Ohio State. I think they need to come out and just kick their ass. We haven't seen much since the Texas game from them. Game like this, out of conference, go up there and beat the dog crap out of them.
What is it, 9.5?
Yep.
That feels like hammer Ohio State to me,
That's what I.
especially coming off of a bye.
Mhm.
The question I ask myself is 9 something they want to play with? It's kind of a close spread to play with because to cover that, you got to get within a touchdown. Do you want to play with fire there? The image is kind of big, but you just got to make the final 12. So seeding matters a little bit, but at the end of the day, you see from last year, you can win from anywhere on that
Mhm.
board.
Next game, LSU at Ole Miss.
Ole Miss is actually favored.
I think
Are they?
I
Yes.
think Ole Miss rolls them. LSU, I think they're struggling. Florida outplayed them. I don't think Florida's still as bad as we think. I just think Miami's really good. I don't think they're great, maybe is what I thought, but I still think they're a solid team. And LSU's had trouble running the ball. I'm not sure LSU's that good. I know they got the big names. I know they got Nussmeier, but not being able to run the ball. They got some good DBs, but I think their front seven might be in question. They're blitzing a lot. That's how they're kind of getting home on defense. You keep blitzing, though, you get burnt too. This quarterback for Ole Miss, guys, his name is Chambers. He came in at the end of the Kentucky game. I think he's from Ferris State. Simmons got hurt, and they needed the first down to end it. It was a close game. He come in. It was like an RPO. He pulled it. He was super fast. I remember telling my son and my friends, "Oh, he can't throw." And they said, "Why you say that, Dad?" I said, "He could throw. He'd be your starter if he's that fast." Well, he just threw 300-something yards against Tulane. And I watched the game.
Tulane's a good ball club.
Hey,
Yeah, and they beat the shit out of them.
and they wasn't little shorties. They were long, a couple of them really long passes. It's one thing if you're throwing shorties and the wide receivers are doing all the work. These were good long passes that he was throwing. Mississippi, with him at quarterback, I'm not saying they will be, but they could be a problem. I'm high on Ole Miss because of what they've done after Kentucky.
He had a
With
big
the
game
Oklahoma.
against Arkansas, too.
He did. So, well, who will be the starter once Simmons comes back? I think it depends next week, right?
Yes.
Let me ask you this, guys, real quick. Say you're a coach and Simmons is ready to come back next week. Do you pretty much sit down and tell Simmons, look, dude, I'm not going to tell people that you're not hurt, but I got to give this guy one more week but I'll save image for you by saying you're still hurt. And if he does bad at your job, that's a tough situation for a coach to be in.
Oh, yeah.
Oregon's having that issue with running backs right now. Oregon has about 4 or 5 legit running backs.
None of them can cover a fucking spread.
Yeah. They're cheaters, Doc. I'm just going to tell you. Oregon is cheaters.
LSU, they don't seem like they're improving. And then it took 5 interceptions to beat a Florida team we think's bad.
And a pick 6.
Yeah.
Florida outplayed them, dude. Florida had an 80-yard touchdown called back.
Yeah.
And I don't think Florida's bad as you do. And I know we disagree on that a little bit. Now they're in trouble because of their record and who they have on their schedule. They're in big trouble. But I still think you will see improvement as long as the team don't quit. I think they ran into a buzzsaw. I think Miami's a problem.
I do too.
I'm not giving up on LSU altogether yet. They still got Nussmeier, so I'm not giving up on them yet.
There is reports that Nussmeier was hurt like during the offseason. He's on like a pitch count. Is that true? Is it not true? I just throwing it out there that are they making excuses for him? I like Nussmeier. I think the problem is they can't run the ball.
Yeah, well, they got a real tough schedule coming up. I mean, I talked about this in week 1. They have at Ole Miss, then they're at home against South Carolina. They're at a Vandy team who's ranked 18th right now and looking real solid.
Avia Nation, baby.
Real solid. Then they got a number 9 Texas A&M, then Alabama.
SEC's so damn tough.
They have got it rough right here. This is a tough spot for LSU. I agree with you guys. It doesn't look like over 4 games that they have. I mean, yeah, they ran up a bunch of points last week? This past week against a nobody. But the other games, they have not put up big numbers. And we thought that Clemson game was a good game, but that's proven to be a little bit different.
I did see
Florida,
something.
Florida's the kind of the same. So
that Clemson threw up a bunch of yards against Syracuse, but didn't get no points. Cade Klubnik's a fraud. But I will say they got 2 offensive linemen hurt and their star receivers hurt. But still.
I mean, they've had 2. He's been in 2 games that have had like some lengthy lightning delays. 2 games.
Yeah, they did have another big delay, didn't they?
Yep.
I thought Clemson would maybe take advantage of that big delay because they were already down.
Yeah, they were down 12-14 before that delay.
I figured maybe they come out of here and turn it around, but that did not happen. Oh, speaking of that game, you saw Syracuse. They got fined. We talked about this, Anthony. They got fined for faking injuries in that game, that Clemson game.
Did they really?
Syracuse got fined by the NCAA for apparently faking injuries.
Did they get
penalties? I don't know how you prove it. We've said it before, but they did it.
Did they get penalty on the field? I'm curious to know.
I don't know. I don't
think there was a penalty on the field.
That'd be something else.
They go back and review that.
Dude, I almost think you could have a lawsuit against that, dude.
How you gonna tell me I'm not hurt?
You can't, dude. You can't.
Just like that referee did to the Willie Cauley-Stein. You're not hurt, boy. Get back in the game. You're not hurt.
That's the crazy league.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird. I think that's the first time that we've heard about, or the first time I've heard about it happening. We've talked about it before, and how do you prove it? I don't know, but they did, and they fined them. So I don't know. Let's look into it before next week and see what they saw or what they're reporting on how they actually proved that, because I have no clue how you prove that.
No, I don't either. I have no clue.
All right, next game. Auburn coming off the loss to Oklahoma at Texas A&M. What are these teams ranked? What's Auburn ranked now that they lost?
A&M 16.
16. What's Auburn?
Well, they were 16 after the Notre Dame game. Texas, let's look at it real quick.
A&M was 9.
I cannot believe they dropped. I think they might be now. They dropped. Auburn's 3-1 with a good win against Auburn in a tough matchup. They drop out of the top 25. Give me a break, dude.
Oh, my goodness, they did.
Dude.
They got A&M.
I'm telling you,
there's
are better.
No way Auburn's not a top 25 team.
You are better off playing Mickey Mouse schedule, dude. You just are, dude.
You are.
People does not give you
credit
for it, dude.
You don't get rewarded for playing a tough schedule.
You don't. I don't buy it.
A&M's favorite 6.5.
And I'm going to tell you that.
I love Auburn.
The A&M game against Notre Dame, the story of that game was they were getting A&M in the third and longs, and A&M was making big plays on third. They do have a really good offensive line and some explosive receivers, but part of Notre Dame's defensive problems this year, the defensive play calling has been pulled from that defensive coordinator they hired already. I think Freeman's taken it over. So they went from a man what Al Golden was running, which is with the Bengals now, and they went to a zone. And they say the players, these Notre Dame players, a lot of them have never ran zone, and they're losing people in those third and longs behind there and explosives. But besides that, that's when they were really doing it, third and longs. And that's Notre Dame. Auburn's DBs are really good. They did a good job on Oklahoma's
Mm-hmm.
defense. Whether they won or lost, that was a hard offense to shut down, and they did a pretty damn good job. I really like Auburn in this game.
I mean, just as long as, last week didn't take a lot out of them.
I agree with that. Yeah.
I think this could be a good game for Auburn. But again, Arnold got good experience on the road last week. Now he goes into A&M, another hostile environment. Probably not as hostile because he doesn't have the relationship with A&M that he does with Oklahoma, being a former player there. But I think if he gets comfortable, it's going to be a
I
good
tell you
chance.
what's really impressive about that loss was that a big part of Auburn's offense, they don't want to run their offense through Jackson Hall. They want him to be a complementary piece, but they weren't able to get their run game going. He took 10 sacks, and so he pretty much turned into just having to drop back. I guess that's why a lot of the sacks happened. Should they have abandoned the run so early like they did? Because that's part of their offense. Hugh Freeze's offense is a run, balanced attack. But if they get that run game going with what they got with that defense, dude, I like them a lot.
I do too.
And maybe I'm overhyping them, but I like them. I hate to say it was a good loss, but
you were on them earlier this year, and then after I've watched them play 2 or 3 times, I really like.
Well, they got talent. There's
Yeah.
talent all over the place. Their defensive line's talented. Their offensive line's talented. The DBs don't get talked about enough. They were able to hold Baylor to 24, and then they were able to hold Oklahoma to what they held them to. The DBs got to be good, right?
I'm not a big believer in Texas A&M. I think they might be one of the teams that's overrated. They did beat Notre Dame in a high-scoring game, but I don't know how great Notre Dame is either. I don't know what it is about Texas A&M. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe I come back. Let's see, they got Auburn,
They spend the money.
Mississippi State, Florida. You talk about an easy SEC schedule. Now, look, I respect Auburn, and I like Auburn. I'm right there with you guys on this. I love Auburn's team, and I think it's a disgrace that they're not in the top 25. That's ridiculous. Yeah. But Texas A&M next few games: Auburn, which is a tough game, Mississippi State, Florida, Arkansas. I mean, look, I'm not saying those are walkover.
It's an easy SEC.
I'm not saying those are walkover games by any means, but whose did we just read? LSU's just a second ago, and it looks a whole lot different. Now, I could probably, if I keep scrolling, it's probably going to get tougher, which it does. But they got some wins lined up right here. So I actually think if Texas A&M can win this game,
I know.
I think they're going to get 3 or 4 more in a row right there, and they might be sitting top 5.
Right.
Depending on what happens in front of them, you go 1, 2, 3, 4 more wins, they could be 7-0.
I think their problem's defense. Even the weaker teams they played, they gave a decent amount of points.
And all these games are at home. Auburn's at home, Mississippi State next week at home, then Florida's at home, and then they finally go to Arkansas. And then they got at LSU. It gets a little tougher after that. But, I see this is a big game for Texas A&M.
It's going to prove who they are.
Toughest game they got in the next month. So they need to get this one. And maybe in a month, if they run off 4 in a row, even though I say that's a little bit of an easier schedule, if they can beat Auburn, beat Mississippi State, beat Florida, beat Arkansas, and go into that LSU game 7-0, maybe I'll change my tune and maybe I won't think they're overrated. But right now, I do think they're a little bit overrated, and I really like this Auburn team. Wish they would have squeaked that one out last week. And we didn't even talk about the damn safety. No, we didn't even talk about the safety at the end of the Auburn-Oklahoma game that luckily got me a push because I had him +7, but a lot of people had him +6.5. Yep. I know a lot of people had him +6.
Well, I had a nice little bet on them, and I pushed it, and it pissed me off because I really thought they outplayed them to get the penalty, and a lot of that was the crowd, dude. I watched the end of it because I wanted to see it. It was super noisy at the end of the game. Wouldn't you agree with that, Josh?
Oh yeah,
dude, they couldn't hear. That's it. They got out to like the 20 or 25. I think they had 2 offsides penalties in a row because they couldn't hear.
Hey, real quick, just nothing crazy here, but all those first 4 games we listed right there are all at 3:30.
That kind of sucks.
I wish they were.
I mean, where do you spread them out to? It's 12, 3:30.
Yeah, 1 at noon. Who's playing at noon? Is anybody good playing at noon?
I'll tell you, who plays at noon that's not any good. Notre fucking Dame. They play at noon.
Irish
playing
baby.
Arkansas.
The Irish.
Yeah, I want to watch some of the LSU Ole Miss because I do think this is a pivotal point for an LSU team. They need to show some improvement, and I'd like to watch the Auburn A&M.
I want to see Ohio State at all 4 of them games. I mean, you need the quad box.
I guess I'm gonna have the
quad box going.
I think there's one game that starts at 9. Somebody. Oh no, that was
we talked
last
about
week.
Wasn't that Auburn, Oklahoma?
No.
No, it wasn't that late. No, they played early.
No, that's what I'm saying. It was at like 10 a.m.
Oh no, that was Utah and Texas Tech.
Oh,
That was a
okay.
10
Utah.
a.m. start in Utah. What kind of shit's that?
That's terrible.
I mean, wow.
Like you said, Anthony, I'd have refused that shit if I was the coach. Like, we are
Dude, it
not
shouldn't
playing at
always
10
come down to
a.m.
TV.
It was at Texas Tech at Utah, and it's a 10 a.m. local start. I mean, it was 12 o'clock for us.
I mean, that's might be the biggest game of the year for Utah home schedule. You want your crowd there rocking. Son, they ain't even up yet.
Bloody Marys, mimosas, and
All right, next game. Alabama at Georgia. I mean, any other week, this would be the game of the week.
Yep.
It could be, I guess you could call, what are they ranked
Cold.
right now?
It could be cold.
What are they ranked right now?
I don't care what the rank.
Are they both top 10?
I
Yeah,
Is
I think one of
Bama,
them's
is
like
Bama
14,
back in
one
the
of them's
top
like 8 or
10?
9. There's still 2 quality ball clubs. That's,
What are they ranked?
I mean,
hold on.
I think rankings are still whatever right now.
I know, but
know,
I'm
I mean,
just
look.
asking what they're ranked.
They're ranked.
Alabama's 17.
17. They got
Yeah.
the loss.
But I'm saying it doesn't get much bigger than an Alabama-Georgia matchup, no matter
no.
what numbers are next to their names.
As much as I like the Penn State and Oregon game, think it should be the game of the week. Neither one of those teams have played nobody. And I do think they're both really good, and I think it should be, but they haven't played nobody. At least both these teams have played somebody.
No, they got a
Them Big Ten schedules are top heavy, dude. I'm telling you.
they
don't
got
schedule
a
nobody.
3 and a 6 next to their name. So
Yeah.
we made them the game of the week.
I get it.
But you're right. I mean, look, Alabama and Georgia,
Alabama ran into
arguably,
Florida
not
State.
even really arguably, that's a bigger matchup than Oregon Penn State, going by the names.
Mm-hmm.
But how y'all feel about this? I know Anthony hasn't given up on Alabama yet. I actually did, but I'm starting to like the quarterback a little bit.
That's what
But I love Georgia. I love Georgia. We took down the Georgia sign. We got Detroit up today because they're playing right now against the Ravens. What is the score?
7-7.
7-7. Should have took the over in that game. But yeah, this is a hell of a matchup. Between the hedges.
No, it is.
Where's College Game Day? Are they in
Oregon.
Penn
I
State?
would think they're at Oregon Penn State.
Penn
It's got to
State?
be.
Yeah, that's a whiteout. That's a
Yeah,
whiteout.
it got to be.
I would like to go to that game.
I got Georgia's back. I love me some Georgia, Kirby Smart, Gunnar Stockton.
You love a Georgia QB.
I do love a Georgia QB.
I think Georgia's going to have a really good team by the end of the year, and they might have a really good team right now. They're super young, but have a lot of young talent. They knew that going into the year that they were going to be young, but how good can they be? I do think they should have a loss. Tennessee blew that game. But Tennessee's good too. So that was a good win for Georgia. Good pickup win.
Sometimes you got to get a
That's right. I agree 100%. And it was a good game. But Alabama's got the loss to Florida State. I'm high on Florida State. I think the bet of the year, guys, they're still 50-1. They were 60-1. Florida State to win the national title is 50-1. That is too high.
Especially with the way they've looked.
And look, if they get beaten or nothing, that's whatever. But they didn't just get lucky and beat Alabama. They ran the ball, and they have dominated everybody since then. Their running game's really good. Their quarterback, he's good enough. He's a mobile guy. Well, they're using that with their run game. It's going to be an effective little offense, dude. Their running game's serious. Alabama's looked great since that game.
Yeah, they have. And I'm going to still probably Charlie's take here. But I think Ty Simpson, the last few games, I know they've played some nobodies, but he seemed a lot more comfortable. I know he wasn't running for his life like he was against Florida State, nervous out of his freaking mind, but in the rain and slop and everything else down in Tallahassee. But he's looked real comfortable the last few weeks, and I like him to give Georgia a game here. What you like, Charlie? What'd you say? Everything.
Kirby. Kirby is not going to let DeBoer come in to Georgia and beat him. I do think it's going to be a heck of a game. It's only a 3-point spread. A little surprising to me.
Tennessee whooped Syracuse, and then Syracuse beats Clemson. But how bad's Clemson? As we go
Clemson's
around.
kind of looking to be pretty bad.
Or Syracuse
I don't want to
decent.
overreact because I still think it is
love overreaction.
It is kind of still overreaction season, but Clemson's looking bad.
They said they put up a lot of yards in that game.
They're like 17-point favorites, lost by like 14, didn't they?
It wasn't that close.
And
even though we're down 12 or 14, it felt like 30.
And the Georgia Tech game, they actually played good. A lot of people think they outplayed Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech got that win at home. I think Georgia Tech's solid.
Georgia Tech's better than Syracuse. They played them. They played Georgia Tech better than they did last week. I don't know what happened. I didn't watch any of that Syracuse game, but they were down big early, right? I mean, they were down 2 touchdowns before were they down 2 touchdowns before the little rain delay?
Oh, yeah. Yep. And then I just quit.
Clemson
I mean, I didn't watch much of it because it was in and out with the rain delay. I was like, fuck this. There's too many other games to watch.
Yeah, I'm just surprised this isn't our game of the week. Alabama at Georgia, not the game of the week. Well, the game of the week, Oregon at Penn State. Both teams really kind of getting their first real test, especially Penn State. I haven't even watched Penn State play.
How do some of these teams have such hard out of conference schedules and then we don't hold them accountable for not having tougher out of conference schedules?
Because you just said it's easier to have a cupcake schedule.
I mean,
know?
right. I mean,
Penn State's
I don't know why
screw
you would
that.
have a hard schedule.
I mean,
David.
Charlie picked Penn State to win national championship. We don't even know what the hell they can do.
Actually,
man.
Anthony.
But I'm off of him
No,
now.
Anthony did.
I'm off
He's
of him
off
now.
of them
But
now.
I know I'm
want-
still on them. I still
I'm
like
on 'em.
them. I'll let you on them because I bet too
I'm
much
still
on.
on them.
Yeah, I bet too much on another team. So I do like them. I do. But I do want to see Penn State. The book on Aller is that he's really good up the seams, up the middle with his passes, but he struggles on outside the number of passes. Well, Warren was that guy that could go up the seams last year. That was his game, going up the seams. How good was the talent? They returned a lot of the guys besides Abdul Carter, a couple more. What was the better year for talent? Was it last year or was it this year? You know, the story will tell. But
the way Penn State runs their offense, they do not ask him to do enough. It's almost like what we've talked about with Jalen Hurts. I don't think they ask Aller to do like last year. They didn't stretch the field. When they did stretch the field, it was with the tight end. I'd love to see how many passes he threw for over 30 yards for the whole season. But I think it might change this year. They do got some better receivers this year. So
I read on the NFL draft board, they said that, as him as the draft profile, they said he struggles with throws on the outside of the numbers. They were talking about it, stepping up in the pocket. He wants to throw off his back foot or something.
let him throw a little more. I'd like to see him get to open it up a little more, but who knows how that game will be played. I'm anxious to see how that game will be played because Oregon's been scoring the shit out of some points, but you know how they are.
They're underdogs here. So
what's the spread in that? 3?
3.5 is what I saw. I mean,
man,
the amount that we're going to learn this weekend, just on these 7 games we've talked about, is Indiana will legit at Iowa. Ohio State, they're going on the road to Washington, beat the crap out of them. LSU and Ole Miss. Is Ole Miss a real deal? Is LSU the real deal? Auburn and A&M. We're going to learn about A&M. We talk about Auburn every week. Then you got Bama and Georgia. I mean, this is just
you're going to learn a lot. You're right.
This is the week you can kind of really start putting the puzzle together and figure out, you could really put your playoff bracket together after just these 7 games here.
I agree, Josh. I think looking at those 7 games, it is going to answer a lot of questions.
I mean, that's crazy.
We'll be through, 5 weeks of college football. I think we're starting to get a grip on what's what. Like everything you said there, all those teams right there, we want to see what they're really about. Look, if Indiana beat the shit out of Illinois, they're going to destroy Iowa. I know it's on the road, but if they scored 60-something, Illinois is better than Iowa. We're going to find out a lot, even though Indiana's already the national champion. I mean, we'll find out who's going to be playing for second place.
Let me.
Who's runner? We're going to find out who the runner-up is this week.
Look,
who is runner-up?
I've went back and watched Oregon's games. I know who they had coming in because I was really analyzing them. The name you're going to want to remember is Decoria Moore. Is he the Jeremiah Smith from last year? He was the number 1 wide receiver coming out of high school last year. He's a problem. Evan Stewart, the guy that came back for another year, Oregon from last year, he got hurt beginning of the year. Decoria Moore has stepped in as the number 1, and he looks like it. He's very explosive, guys. He's a big-time athlete. You just see it. Like when you see it with Jeremiah Smith, you see this kid's an athlete. Get the ball in his hands, jet sweeps. He's big. He's fast. He can cut. He's got all the moves. They're running backs. They had one of the top running transfers from over at Tulane. Plus, they had their guys coming back. They got like 4 legit running backs, and there's not enough carries for all of them. In the portal, they went and got 2 of the best offensive linemen in the portal. They got the Prington guy, the USC guy. He was the top interior offensive lineman in the portal, and they got the top offensive tackle. He came from Nevada. World is his name. And unlike the boy that went to Ohio State, that was the big offensive tackle, these guys have looked awesome. That World kid from Nevada is a wrecking crew. He's your big right tackle. Oregon has a lot of talent, but we also know what Penn State has coming back. They've returned a lot from that team that did so well last year. Trying to Singleton back there.
I know we've been talking about those guys, but we've yet to see them really put them to the test.
I have not watched Penn State play
We talked about them a month ago during the preview, and we've yet to see those dudes
Will they miss Warren, or will those group of wide receivers be able to make the difference?
Have you watched them play one snap?
I mean, in
Anybody
garbage
has got to
honestly,
be
I have, but it was in garbage time, and none of those
Have you
dudes were in.
watched Penn State
No.
play a snap?
No,
I have.
they ain't played nobody.
I know.
I don't watch those games.
Game
I
of the
have
week,
not
baby.
turned
Game
on
of the
one of their
week.
games yet.
I've actually had them on TV, but they're up whatever, and it's
What
they're
I
going through the
worry,
motions.
what I worry about with this matchup is, can Penn State keep up with Oregon? And it's not even just this year. It's because I haven't even seen Penn State play. They might be able to score 50 points. I don't know. But just you look at the history of this matchup like this, Oregon's always a high-flying, fast offense, athlete, speed, and Penn State is kind of the opposite of that. They want to play a bruising game. That's why I think Aller is better than just a game manager. I wish they would kind of let him throw the ball, but I worry if Penn State can keep up. Penn State's my pick to win it all, but Oregon always worries me every year. Can you keep up with Oregon? Because
They might have
quick
one of the
to score
best.
40 points on you.
Dan Lanning's a really good coach. He came from Georgia, I think, or Alabama. Which one? Georgia. Dan Lanning coach. He ain't trying to show his hand before that's just his style. He's a smart coach. You might say the same about Penn State. I will say this: as much as you're worried about can they keep up with Oregon, I worry about is Penn State too physical for Oregon, because Penn State's very physical and they're going to run the ball. It's going to be a wideout. It's going to be
At
loud.
home, 7:30 game.
Mhm.
Can they
Yeah.
stop that run game? If they allow them to bring those extra guys up in the box and really try to do something about the running game, but if they have to honor that passing game and drop guys back, the running game is going to be that much more easier. And it's really just, like you said, contrast in styles. That Dante Moore, the Oregon quarterback, he was a 5-star recruit, went to UCLA, and actually did decent at UCLA, considering how bad they've been since he's left. I think that shows you how good the kid is. I wasn't sure about him at first, but I've had a chance to watch him. Kid's accurate. He's
Yeah, I like
accurate.
him.
He's
I
good.
watched him play.
Yeah, I wasn't a big Gabriel guy. I do think he was a good college quarterback, but this Moore kid, both quarterback and wide receiver more. But the boy at wide receiver, I'm telling y'all guys, from what I've seen, he lived up to all the hype. Everybody else agrees. Dakarian Moore, he's big time. You'll know that name. I don't know if you'll know it after this game because Penn State's got a hell of a defense. Are they able to shut him down? Kid's got big time talent. He ain't no fraud. He's a real deal.
All right, we will come back after the NFL and do our college football picks. So on to the NFL. First game for the NFL, Philly at Tampa. Is that a Sunday game or is that Thursday?
No, the Thursday game kind of sucks. Let's look it up real quick.
All right, so Philly at Tampa. Well, before we get into that, any main takeaways from yesterday? I mean, it was a pretty crazy day. Of course, everybody's talking about all the special teams bullshit that went on. You had 2 blocked field goals within probably 60 seconds of each other in Philly. And what was the second one? Tampa? No, the Jets.
The Jets and
Tampa, right?
Yes.
Jets and Tampa?
That was cheating.
The Eagles blocked 2 in a row
Jalen Carter blocked
late
both
in the
of them.
game.
Jalen Carter got both of them. He's a monster.
The Eagles screwed me. I had me and Anthony talked. The Rams was a good bet, man.
It was the winning bet.
They had a big lead early, and they
settled for a lot of field goals early too. Even with that big lead, they settled for a lot of field goals early. I
needed anything to happen at the end except what happened. They could have made the field goal, missed the field goal, didn't matter. The kicker almost got it if you watch. After it was blocked, the kicker jumped right on it, and somehow it squirts out of his hands. Big boy gets it and rattles off what? It was like 65, 70 yards.
And I'm
like, somebody please catch this big dude.
And I'm gonna be honest.
And he rumbled. He could have tripped. He could have fell down.
He should have dropped on the ball.
Yeah, he could have just dropped down.
There were zeros on the clock. It didn't matter.
That's what I'm saying. But, Big boy probably scored the first touchdown of his career. He wasn't
maybe his life.
Yeah, it might have been. He wasn't giving that shit up.
He was feeling good. He
just
blocked it, son. He don't think he was on a high running down the sideline.
The special teams thing was a big story yesterday, and my 4th bad beat in 2 weeks. Bad beat. But yeah, any main takeaways for you guys from yesterday?
Yeah, it was wild.
The Colts are good.
The Colts are good.
The Colts are good. I think the Rams are really good. Of course, Philly's good. I'll give Philly that. They're really good.
I think the Chargers are good.
Really good. I agree.
Chargers are good.
I think a lot of people sleep sleeping on Detroit. I mean, right now they have the lead.
Ain't nobody sleeping on Detroit.
I don't feel like they were dude, they were the best team in football last year.
Ain't nobody sleeping on them. Who doesn't think Detroit's good?
Well, I don't think that they came in this year as people saying they were the best team in football. I think everybody was talking about them losing Ben Johnson, and then they had
the best team in football. That's an argument. I mean,
you don't think before that
sleeping on Detroit
before they had those injuries last year? I think they were hands down the best team in football. I
think so too.
And I'm not a Detroit guy.
I mean, speaking of sleeping, how asleep was Atlanta yesterday?
Oh my goodness, they cost me too, man. I don't know why I bet.
How do they look so good in 2 weeks prior to that and look so bad that game?
Just
the coach brings in Cousins and they said, "Is there quarterback controversy?" He said, "No." I mean, I guess you got to say that, but
the dude's making $50 million. He ought to give him a shot.
Yeah,
trade Cousins to the Bengals.
Yeah,
I do got one more takeaway.
What's that?
Jacksonville 2-1, baby.
They are
2-1. Houston overrated.
Yeah.
CJ Stroud is garbage.
Their defense
they might be 0-3.
Their defense is good. If they could ever get their defense is good. It's their offense cannot get going.
0-3.
Yeah, CJ Stroud has not gotten better since week 8 of his rookie year.
He really has.
Man, they were producing at the end of last year, dude. I don't know what it was. I'm not a Stroud fan. I'm not a Stroud fan. But dude, they were getting hot. Like I was scared they was gonna make like a Super Bowl run there at the end, dude.
No way.
Dude, they got hot.
They're in the toilet bowl run right now.
They are.
They're just as good as the Miami Dolphins right now.
Well, they don't have Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon's out. He can't come back till like week 6 or 7. He's hurt. I think that's hurt him a lot. He catches a lot out of the backfield. He's a good short yardage back. He's he's an every down back.
Well, let's not forget about Liam Cohen
He's gone.
And Trevor Lawrence, baby. Because if it wasn't for the red hot Indianapolis Colts, my Jacksonville Jaguars might be leading the division right now.
Who'd they beat? Carolina, the Bengals, then that Houston team y'all say is weak. Which I'm with you. They're not bad, Charlie. They're not bad.
You know, he plays in front of
them. On the right track.
That's right.
New coach.
Liam Cohen's gonna get hired.
The Bengals are fucking bad.
He's gonna make the playoffs for the Jaguars again. And once Signetti gets hired to coach Clemson, then Liam Cohen's going to coach Indiana.
What about Carolina? Is Carolina starting to get good?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't either.
Okay.
I think that's more about Atlanta.
Okay. But Atlanta looked so good the 2 weeks before that.
Yeah.
They did.
I agree.
They controlled the game
against the NFL.
I mean, you're right. I think you're right.
Maybe it was just one bad week. We'll see if Atlanta bounces back. But I don't believe in Atlanta. I watched a lot of that game, and they were just.
I did go back and look at the Carolina and Arizona game. Arizona had that big lead on them, and they got backdoored at the end. A lot of those points early were kind of opportunistic points that Arizona was getting. There was a fumble return for a touchdown. My thinking was, they were up 27-3. They just went into a prevent defense. But maybe they didn't really earn their points either early in the game. So I don't know.
I'm not a Kyler Murray fan at all.
Yeah. They got a really good defense.
And then Marvin Harrison just dropping wide open balls.
Yeah, they're talking about him being a bust.
Yeah, he's not good. Well, they said he was a bad route runner, and he really doesn't have elite speed. And that you kind of need both of those.
And now they're saying he's dropping passes.
Yeah, I mean, so what are you?
I'm gonna tell you, anytime I've seen this in recruiting, it goes way back for me when recruiting used to be the lifeblood of a program, and that's really what started. My love for really following sports on the internet was the recruiting scene, and back when it was big and it got a lot of people started. But if your kid is a former pros kid, they're always overrated. Of course, you got Steph Curry.
He was a monster at Ohio State.
Yeah, he was really good, but he wasn't physically what Jeremiah Smith was. And they had really good offense. They had C.J. Stroud, J.K. Dobbins. I mean, their offense was legit. But I do think he's really good. I still don't think maybe he's a bad pro, but he's lived up to it a lot. He's lived up to it a lot more than a lot of other kids. Dude, there's kids that come out and they'll get like a 4-star ranking just because their dad's somebody.
Right.
Shaq's kid was that way. He came out like a 4-star recruit. Yeah. Came out as a 4-star recruit. He wasn't no good. Arch Manning. I mean, did he get his ranking because of
where's his jersey? Yeah, baby. Where's it? Oh,
right.
Man, we took it down. Damn it.
Use that as toilet paper.
Damn it. It's R.A. Brown.
I seen he scored a touchdown when it was like 7-0 last week against Sam Houston State, and tried to stand over the guy, flex on him and shit. I'm like, dude, Sam Houston State, you play for Texas.
Yeah, that's right.
I like it. I like it.
All right, first game, Philly at Tampa. Love this game. Love this matchup.
That's a hard matchup.
I think Tampa's due for, like, we've talked about it. Tampa has been the luckiest team in the NFL so far. I saw a handful of stats to back that up.
Philly's pretty lucky. Philly's been pretty lucky.
Yeah,
Dallas probably should have
Philly
beat them.
definitely got lucky last week.
CeeDee Lamb dropped about 3 passes, so they lost that.
Jalen Carter got thrown out.
I'm telling you, go back and look, though. Tampa's been
They
pretty
have
lucky.
been, Charlie.
They
I
have,
agree.
yes.
I thought they got unlucky last week, but they pulled it out.
And
or
probably,
this week.
And probably no Mike Evans this week. He did something to his hamstring.
Yeah.
Well, they got Egbuka.
He's nice,
the rookie
dude.
of the year,
He is
son. I might have
nice.
pegged that. I didn't
Yeah.
even bet it. I should have bet.
Yep.
He had 2. Did you see the 2 catches he had?
Yeah.
Did you see him?
I didn't see him.
Dude,
They didn't even review.
nasty.
They should have reviewed the one, and they didn't. They called him out of bounds on that one at the end.
They didn't give him the catch?
Not on that one. I
It
don't
was
think
a
so.
one-handed catch that was ridiculous. And then the one at the end was nasty, too.
You imagine having
Dude,
him and
he's good.
You imagine having him and Jeremiah Smith lined up next to each other last year. Good luck.
Yeah.
I just think Tampa's due for a little bit of that luck to turn the other way. Yeah, I mean, who knows? Philly got super lucky last week, too. 2 freaking blocked field goals in the last few minutes of the game.
Rams settled for a lot of field goals early, too. They scored almost every time they got the ball early.
I don't even know what the spread is, but
3.5 is what I see.
this would be a tough game to bet.
Tampa holds a lot. Did y'all see that, guys?
Baker got a little beat up 2 weeks ago. How did he look? I didn't watch a lot of the game this week, but he got a little banged up 2 weeks ago, right at the end of the game, if you remember.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
But did he look all right?
I thought he looked all right.
Well, they broke the record. I wanted to say that. They broke the record for the most holding calls on one possession that were accepted. Most holding calls accepted. I think it's like 6. They had 6 holding calls on the drive. Guys, they called holding calls on Tampa all night. Tampa had 150 yards in penalties. They had everything go against them. They had a blocked field goal. They had touchdowns called back, I think a couple. It was almost like they were trying to let the Jets cover that game. They covered. So Tampa really got a little unlucky, but they won that game. But I agree with you. They got kind of lucky the first weeks. They got really lucky against Atlanta. Atlanta outplayed them. And who was the other?
Whoever they played last week, I can't remember.
Didn't you say you seen a stat where he's supposed to have like 6 interceptions?
They did say he had 6 interceptions dropped. That was going into this week. I don't know if he threw a pick this
That matters, guys. That matters. I mean,
they said 6 of them through the hands of defenders.
And then you get some quarterbacks that guys make miraculous.
Right,
interceptions
bounces off your own receiver's hands.
So, I mean, that's really when you're trying to get advanced as a better or anything. I think that's the stuff you're looking for because them throws were made. Just because you got good results, that don't mean it was a good play.
So who y'all taking?
It's a tough one for me.
It is me too because I'm kind of questioning Philly a little bit, but I still think they're loaded, and I think the Rams are good. The Rams came off the gas, some stuff happened. The Dallas game's what fools me with Philly. I bet against Dallas this week because I thought their defense was really bad. They gave up a lot to the Giants last week. Their defense looked bad this week. Why wasn't Philly able to score more points than them? If CeeDee Lamb catches those passes, Dallas might win that game. Who'd Philly play week 2? Who'd they play week 2?
Chiefs.
The Chiefs. Okay. What was the score of that game? That was a low-scoring affair.
Yeah, I think they won by like 6 or 8.
But it was a close game
Yes,
throughout,
yes.
wasn't it? I'll go Mike Evans out. I think that's going to hurt. That'll hurt Egbuka too.
How long is he out?
I just know he hurt his hamstring and I don't even know if he's out yet. I just know he hurt his hamstring and it wasn't a good thing yesterday.
Lamar time. Oh, he fumbled. I thought that was going to be a
I think it was 4th and goal. It was 4th and goal there.
Oh
Was
my
it?
gosh! So
Yeah.
they're going into halftime with no points on
That's
that.
my boy.
That could
That's
have
my
been a
boy.
disaster.
Oh.
I'm going to take Philly here. I'll be cheering for Tampa in this game. I really like Baker. He is fun to watch. Egbuka, my rookie of the year pick. I like Tampa, but I'm going to take Philly in this game.
Tough game. I did read a few guys are still in their rookie deals, but they're backloading their contracts, kind of what the Saints did. Now the Saints are having to playing catch up. They're doing it to leave that window open for a Super Bowl window, but maybe like in 3 years, they're kind of pushing that money back on the books, and they're hoping that the NFL salary cap is going to go up to kind of help negate that a little bit. But the Saints did that. They were trying to win now a few years back, and they pushed some money back. And it's hard to rebuild when you do that. Then that takes that off your salary cap for those years.
I don't think Tampa's got enough to play with Philly. I think they've been playing with house money the last few weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of last minute drives. I mean, some teams do win like that, but it just runs out eventually. And I think as much as I think Philly's due for a loss too, with the way they played last week against the Rams and the first week against Dallas, I got to say Philly's going to take down Tampa this week.
Who'd you pick, Anthony?
Philly. If Evans is out, that I do think I think Evans, I'm not saying he's underrated because I know people think he's really good. I think he might be really, really good, dude.
No, he is.
I think he might be really, really
Who are we
good.
talking about?
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans.
Mike, he's a Hall of Famer.
Okay.
What do you
Yeah,
mean
yeah.
really, really good?
I just
He's
don't-
freaking a Hall of Famer.
I got you. You're right. I just
Of
feel like
course he's really good.
I don't feel like he gets that prop
Well,
sometimes.
it just
though.
sucks that he's been down to Tampa, which isn't like your Cowboys or your, it's not like he hadn't been playing in divisional playoff games and stuff like that. That's what hurt him. But he is a monster.
Hell yeah, he's real good. I like some Mike Evans. I wonder how long he's out for, but they still got.
I don't even know if he's out. I just know he's got a hamstring, and I seen a little picture of him walking to the locker room limping.
They still got Godwin and
If they're 3-0,
too.
dude, if I was them, I'd get him healthy.
This isn't a divisional game.
It's Philly. It's a tough game. If you win, you win. You lose, you lose. But I don't think I would say. I think I'd want my star receiver, healthy.
Next game, Indy at the Rams. The red hot Josh's Indianapolis Colts.
Go horse.
These guys look like they're like the Saints last year. After 3 weeks, me and Anthony was calling the Saints the best team in the NFL, best team of all time. I think we actually
Yeah.
called them, and I don't think they won a game the rest of the year. So I'm gonna go ahead and say Indy, best team of all time.
Yeah, them and the 78 Dolphins.
Yep. And then now they will not win a game the rest of the year. They're going out to face what is probably a pissed off LA Rams. The way they got beat in that game at Philly, they're going to be looking for a bounce back. Indy, I think, maybe due for a little bit of a regression. So I think it's going to be a tough spot for Indy. They've been playing really good, though. I did not think y'all's roster was that good.
They got
I
some
think
really
they
good
got a really
receivers.
good
I
roster.
do.
They
I
got
think
some good
they-
receivers.
They got a real good roster. I really like this team.
Good
As
offensive
much as I've
line.
been hating on them for the last 2 years, we obviously know what the problem was. It was Anthony Richardson.
No, yeah, I told y'all that.
I mean, I hated the draft. I hated him on draft day.
I told y'all Daniel
But
Jones was good.
Daniel Jones has come in. He's done
way
his
better
job.
than Anthony Richardson.
I mean,
I
gosh.
knew he was.
That
I
was
mean-
a good choice by Steichen right there.
But,
I don't even think it probably was close. He probably just went to the owner and said, "Dude, I know we drafted this guy, but dude, this dude, Daniel
You
Jones,
said he got
pretty good."
in?
Yeah, he got in at the end. I was listening to it on the radio. But I think this is the game where we find out who Indy is. I mean, a good test for them. They can still lose a game and be a great team.
I agree.
But
I
going from
agree.
east to west
Let me give you
Coast-
an angle. And y'all know I'm a Rams guy. Rams, they beat Houston early, but they didn't beat them by a lot. Second week comes, they beat Tennessee. They didn't kill them, but Tennessee's bad. They play Philly. Maybe Philly ain't as good as what we think they are. Then maybe the Rams. Maybe we thought that was a
Philly's
superstar,
fucking
man.
good, dude.
Okay, I'm just saying
love
maybe
to sneak that shit
no,
in.
no. I'm knocking the Rams at the same time. I'm knocking, dude.
The Rams are good too.
Okay, I'm just telling. I'm telling you
Rams
an
are
angle.
good.
I'm not, dude. I think the Rams are good too.
No matter what happened with that game with Philly, both of
I
them
know.
teams are really
I'm
good.
with you, but I'm telling you, if you really look at it, it's easy to just get built up on how good they were last year.
Let's just look at who the Phillies beat this year. They beat Kansas City, they beat the Rams, and who they beat?
Dallas.
And they beat Dallas.
But Dallas probably should have beat them.
Well,
Rams should have beat
you
them.
know,
And
I think Dallas sucks, but I'm just saying that's 3 pretty quality wins right there.
Dallas ain't no quality win. I don't think.
No,
And I like Dallas
not
going
now.
into the year. I like them going into the year. And Dallas probably should have beat them. I'm just giving an angle. I don't think that's true. I think the Rams are really good. I'm just giving you an angle.
Rams dominated Philly in the first half of the game.
Yeah.
I watched pretty
Yeah.
much the whole game. They
I'm not saying-
dominated the whole game.
I'm just saying
Like
maybe
the whole first
maybe
half.
both of
What-
them
what did-
ain't really good.
Does anybody know what Saquon ran for yesterday? It wasn't much. Was
They
it?
went to shut him down. They went to
I
that was
know.
that
I
was
mean,
their game plan to
If,
shut him
if
down.
Saquon can't run, can Jonathan Taylor run on Sunday? That could
Jonathan
that could be a
Taylor's
factor.
been killing.
I
it,
know,
dude.
but can he? Saquon Barkley.
The Rams defense is freaking awesome.
I
dude.
do
They
too.
were getting pressure in the first half, especially. I don't know how much the game plan changed. I'm sure it did when you get up a certain amount of points, but they were getting pressure on Jalen Hurts with 4 guys. And then I feel like they've been doing that all year.
Oh, and they were without Fisk. Their defensive line is the best pass rushing defensive line in football.
All they got to do is blitz 1 and you're in trouble.
You might
I'm
not
serious.
Yeah.
Like they get pressure with 4, and when they bring 5, it's trouble.
They settled for a lot of field goals early. They were pretty much scoring every time they got the ball. I question Philly.
Philly's got wins over Kansas City,
Who else? I mean, the Rams.
The Rams
and the Cowboys.
and the Cowboys.
So I don't think the Cowboys are good.
I think the Cowboys are awful. But a week ago, you were saying the Cowboys were good.
I said I was wrong.
All right.
The defense is bad. I think Dak's good.
Their defense is fucking
Yeah,
bad.
they're awful.
Their defense
It's
is bad.
awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
It rivals the Dolphins' defense. For
It
real.
is.
It
Bengals
is
right
bad.
there with them.
Gosh.
And the Bengals, they are bad defenses, dude. The Bengals' defenses might be the worst of all of them.
Hey, if you was a Dallas fan, we'd have the 3 worst defenses in football, right?
As bad as the Dolphins' defense is, the Bengals is probably worse. They let Carson Wentz carve them up this week for what, 40-something points?
I mean, hell, the defense scored twice at least.
Hey,
The
who
one dude,
did?
the Vikings.
Oh, did
yeah,
they?
the one guy had 2 touchdowns
Brown-
on defense.
how many-
Rodgers.
Browning Nagel was the quarterback.
How many interceptions Browning throw this week?
At least 2. The guy
He
he had
so
one
weak,
fumble.
dude.
The DB for the Vikings had 1 fumble return for a touchdown and 1 pick six.
I swear he's terrible.
Oh, but I think the Rams on the revenge factor kind of get Indy in a close one. I think this game's close. I think the Rams being at home going to take down my Colts. I don't like it. Don't like picking against my team. I probably won't bet this game because I usually don't bet teams I cheer for.
That's a good game.
But
It is a
it
good
is.
game.
That's a good game.
4 o'clock. It's a 4:25 game.
I'm taking the Rams, but I'll tell you what, if Indy goes on the road and wins this game, dude, we got to have to really reevaluate Indy. I already think they're better than I thought. But if they win this game, watch out. Indy could be something serious.
Mhm.
I ain't going against the Rams. I think the Rams are really good. I question more. I think Rams dominated that game and just came off the gas.
I think they did too.
Yeah. I'm taking Rams. But I do. Hey, if Indy beat them, it wouldn't surprise. I think very highly of Indy right now.
All right, so we are all on the Rams. Real quick, y'all want to do our touchdowns and fumbles of the NFL this week? We usually do those for college football.
Yeah.
I'll start. My touchdown, Anthony's not going to like it, but Jalen Hurts is not overrated. They finally asked him to air the ball out in the second half. They finally asked him to put the game on his shoulders, which they never do because of the roster, because of the build of the team. They don't have to. They went through all year last year not doing it. They went through the first 2 weeks. What did he throw for, like 100 yards in the first game, 100 yards last week? Didn't Jalen
Threw for like
Hurts
2
only-
yards in first half. Everybody knows defenses change when you get up big. They shouldn't, but everybody knows defenses change when you get up big.
He had a big second half. Jalen Hurts is not overrated. My fumble, I'm going to make Anthony happy. Daniel Jones is good at football. Last week I said it was all Steichen. I'll pull back a little bit on that. I do think Steichen's a great coach, great offensive coach, great with quarterbacks. But I'm going to give Daniel Jones some credit. Dude is playing out of his freaking mind
He seems,
right now.
and I think it could be a Steichen thing too, but he's so comfortable.
he does.
He just seems comfortable. He's not rushed. He's comfortable in the pocket. He's making the right throws. And then sometimes he's just like, screw it, and just throws it deep, and Pittman or Josh Downs is
They
down
got
there.
some good receivers.
And he's
they
got
got
Warren.
a good offensive
And
line.
I mean, you got Warren, you got Downs,
Warren
you
might
got
be
Pittman,
Warren might be your rookie.
and then
of
you
the
got
year.
Jonathan Taylor and a good offensive line. I mean, that's all you needed was somebody to come in there with confidence, listen to the game plan that Steichen's got, and that's what they're doing.
He said, "Get me out of the New York, dude. Just
they had
anywhere
they
but
had-
New York."
It's going to be looking bad because they had Barkley and Daniel Jones together. You
That's
know,
crazy.
it's almost like the Oklahoma City Thunder back in the day when they had Durant, Harden, and Westbrook.
Serge
yeah.
Ibaka,
Yeah.
Steven Adams. I mean,
Like, there's some bad stuff going on down
You
there.
know what this Daniel Jones thing reminds me of, though? It reminds me of Sam Darnold last year.
mhm.
Where'd he get out of?
Jets.
Yeah.
New York. Get out of New York. I don't care if you're playing for the Jets or the Giants. If you're a quarterback, get out of New York. But he went to Minnesota. Good roster. Really a ready-built roster for Sam Darnold last year. And he had the best year of his career. And this reminds me a lot of that.
I like that analogy.
I mean, Daniel Jones is playing out of his freaking mind right now. Right now, he could be the MVP.
Yeah,
I mean, can we say that? I'm
Yeah.
serious. If the season ended right now,
they did.
Daniel
punt.
Jones might be your MVP.
I agree with that. I do.
So I'll eat crow a little bit. Daniel Jones is good at football. I was wrong. We'll see if it holds up.
Well, I don't know if I had any touchdowns last week because I am really close. I tried to go Sunday, but they weren't open. The plasma center
Yeah.
wasn't open. But
You
I'm
need to
working.
use
Hey, here the next couple weeks, guys. The plasma parlay is coming.
Plasma parlay.
The plasma parlay.
So
I
I'm gonna
love
go
it.
donate some plasma
I love it.
Take
I'll show
my
you. I'll
take
show,
my cash and head straight to Derby City Gaming.
I'll show
Put it
you.
all on a parlay. We're gonna see what happens. But my fumble is the Cowboys. I really like the way they looked against the Eagles week 1. And I thought that I said it. I think those Thursday games get goofy, especially when
do.
they're division.
That's the only time their defenses look good.
Yeah, and their defense is horrible. They got
It's so
completely
bad.
shredded yesterday. The Cowboys suck.
Their offense is good. They got a horrible
Yeah, their
defense.
defense is bad.
I don't even believe
CeeDee
that.
Lamb just drops balls, then he gets
And now
hurt.
he's hurt. He's hurt.
I mean,
I think a high ankle sprain is what I'm hearing.
did you see
know
his-
that
his-
can linger.
Yeah, his ankle it looked broke
Did
when during the replay you seen it just bend the wrong way. So,
Yeah, I don't.
but
I don't even think-
no touchdowns for me NFL wise, other than my Colts just personally winning.
Yeah, that's a
no
big
touchdowns.
touchdown for you.
Yeah, I'll
Hell
take it.
yeah.
But I wasn't going to steal your thunder. But I'm going to take my fumble, a huge L with the Cowboys and their defense.
I would go Daniel Jones on mine because I've been hollering about that to everybody I know for a long time. Matter of fact, that needs to be mine because that's probably no, it got to be. Dude, I've been hollering about that for a long time. Hey, people were making fun of the dude, dog. They were making fun of him, saying, "Look at that, my son just laughs at me." I said, "Dude, I think he's a decent quarterback. You watch him; he's got all the tools. He's got some speed. He's got good arm." I said, "Sometimes you're in a bad situation."
Look, there's their band right there,
That's it,
Anthony.
yeah.
And Jason Kelsey was playing with the Baltimore
The
band.
I love that.
The
There were some old cats
The
on there
only
too.
NFL team that has a band. I told
Yeah,
you.
I love it.
Look,
I
there's
love
Red.
it. That's cool. That is cool.
I see
do-
Red.
Reds is there somewhere.
When
He's the damn conductor. I seen him. He's the maestro. I seen him with that stick. Just
When Lamar,
Blitz the Bookie has their Baltimore correspondent
We can
at the
get-
game, so we will have a little bit of footage of the game, hopefully, for this week's show.
we can start us a band, guys. Start us a band. I can do some drums.
I can't. I mean, anybody can play the drums.
Not good. The guy from Def Leppard had one arm.
I know. That's how easy it is. You don't need 2 arms.
Oh,
So, what was your fumble? Did you have a fumble?
yeah, I've had plenty of fumbles. I fumble. I thought the Cowboys were going to be good too. I'll use the same one because I thought they were going to be
What
good.
about Green Bay? We overreacted on that.
I think we all fumbled on that.
They are a team that they will take away the run from you. Ain't going to run on Green Bay. I'm telling you, they've faced some good running teams, including Detroit. You're not going to run. They blew that game yesterday, guys. They were playing a defensive game because they did not think Cleveland could score, and they weren't going to score. They were 3rd and 3. Just if you get it with 2 minutes to go, Cleveland ain't been able to move the ball. The 3-point that Cleveland had was given to them on a turnover. It was 2 minutes to go. Punt the ball away. They ain't scored on y'all game. Even if they score, it's tied. What do? They get cute. They pass it on 3rd and 3 on their own 15, 20-yard line and throw an interception.
Mhm.
Jordan Love did not play good, and Cleveland's got a stingy defense. They really do.
They have like the number one. Do they have the number 1 defense in the NFL?
And they might, and that's why I had told Anthony before. I think Sunday morning when we were about to make our bets that I like Cleveland in the points, but I just couldn't bet it.
I think Green Bay has a really good defense.
You know what we need?
They do. That was a big time defense.
I thought it's been kind of chalky the first few weeks of the NFL. I thought the picks were kind of chalky money line wise.
Mhm.
If you were betting that way, but I think we were due, for a game like what happened to Philly, the Green Bay Browns game. I don't know. Just
So
there wasn't anything goofy that happened in the first couple weeks, and then
it all exploded this week.
Yes, and from 4 to 440, it just came off the rails. They're all
Cleveland didn't move the
professionals.
ball none against Green Bay. They were not going to lose that game. And I think Green Bay was playing the game that way. Now, Green Bay was without their star tight end. That's Love's big target. He loves going to their tight end. I think he was out. He was supposed to be out before the game. I don't know if he ended up playing.
Both of their top receivers were supposed to be out. Watson and Reed.
Got a good game here.
It is a
These
good
final
game.
2.5 minutes has been 30 minutes long.
It
in real
has
time.
been. You ain't lying.
God dang.
What's
14 with
14.
7 seconds to go.
It's going to be who gets the ball at the right time, probably in this game.
This last 2 minutes has been a half an hour.
It has been forever. It was.
There's been 2 scores, changes of
They
possessions.
got a big pass interference that got Baltimore on the 1.
Ravens at Kansas City. We are watching the Ravens right now. Ravens playing Detroit Monday Night Football.
How many yarder is this, Josh? I'm sorry. They're going to attempt it.
I guessed it's 67, but he's at. I can't even tell. Hold
It's
on.
going to be a deep one.
God, is he punting?
No, they're punting.
Yeah, he's punting. No,
No, he's
kicking.
not
Why
either.
would you
Holy
be punting? You ain't
So that
punting right
is-
there.
66.
is that what it says?
67.
I said,
Is this guy any good?
we're gonna find out. Dang.
If they get a cheap one here, that'd be cool.
They're in the 90s, they wouldn't even in the early 2000s, they wouldn't even thought about attempting this field goal.
Everything's
and
in-
now these guys can kick this almost 70 yards.
And they're outdoors too. Wonder which way the wind's going.
Hopefully with him.
Better be.
Someone said on the radio today, I know they used to be able to do this. The kickers used to be able to take the balls home.
Yes.
They put them in a microwave and kind of mess with them.
There's
And they form them like soccer balls.
That wouldn't have been good from 67. That kick
It would have
right
been
there
close.
in
It would have
Warren.
been
Is it
close.
67? Is our math right?
I think so. They're on. Yeah, I think so.
I say it's a low percentage kick. It's a low
Oh,
percentage.
shit.
yeah.
It's
I'm
an
a
NFL
genius.
record.
I'm
I'd say it's a.
Is this an NFL record?
No, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It's got to be close.
Oh, you
no.
gotta be careful.
Oh,
You
we
better
haven't
be
seen
careful.
this in a while.
67.
They're trying to
that
pull
was-
the Auburn,
that was-
Alabama. He's
That was
back there.
unbelievable math by me there on that play. God dang.
Dude's a
Lucky y'all got
genius.
me on the
Dude's a
show, right?
freaking genius over here.
67.
We
yards.
might get a punt return
What
right
the
here.
shit? Ugh.
It's off.
He's returning that.
Nope.
Nope.
Would it have been good?
No.
I don't
don't
think
know.
so.
Yeah.
I think it came up short.
Yeah.
Baltimore at Kansas City. Kansas City is 0-3.
No, they didn't. They won
Oh,
last
they
night.
lost. They won. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
won.
Beat the
1 and 2.
Giants.
Does that count though? They beat the Giants.
No. They're
1 and 2 though. Baltimore looks good, dude.
They are good.
Yeah,
They're
they're
good.
good, man.
They're good.
Kansas City. You talk about a team that might not be the same from last year. I think Kansas City's that team.
They've been drafting low for a lot of years, boys.
Yeah,
They've been
I'm
drafting low. I'm not taking up for them, but I mean, you keep drafting 30th or whatever number they're drafting. I mean, I can't tell you the last time they had a top 10 pick.
You know, I believe in Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, but this is not the same Kansas City team. I'm just not seeing it with this team this year. Even in the win last night against the Giants, wasn't super impressive.
22-9. Is that what it was?
Yeah. You know, this is not something I would normally do, but I probably go Baltimore here. Of course, I won't be cheering for Baltimore. But I think Baltimore wins this game. I'd like to see what happens in the rest of this game here, but next week at Kansas City, is this like a 4 o'clock,
Yeah,
8 o'clock?
yeah, I
Is it
think
Sunday
it's-
night?
I
Or
think it's the 4 o'clock.
Kansas City for me.
I just don't believe in Kansas City right now.
I don't either.
I just don't like Baltimore. So.
I love it. I love the honesty.
I think
I do
Baltimore's
that all
probably
the
the
time.
better team,
I
but
do that all the time. I think
this ain't about money right here. So I think Kansas City.
no running game, no running threat really with Kansas City.
They got a good defense.
Is Xavier Worthy
they got
that good?
defense
I
in
mean,
mind.
he's just fast. Is
Has
he that good of a route runner?
He was hurt wasn't he hurt for a game?
Yeah,
or
but
so?
he
came
came back. And then
Yeah.
Kelsey seems another step slower.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, he dropped the ball, 2 weeks ago that turned into an interception, bounced off his hand on like the 1 yard line.
He doesn't look the same.
No, he's done. And
You know, the good thing about it is, though, I do think Baltimore's defense is set up to stop the run. I don't think their pass defense is that good, but they're set up to stop the run. That's kind of what they do is they try to stop the run and force you to pass. Maybe Kansas City get a little bit of a pass game going. Does Kansas City's not a big run team, are they?
Not right now. They're not.
no, they're not. I mean, just watching this game here, and I've watched the Chiefs. My wife, my daughter, they like watching the Chiefs. You know, Swifties. They like what's the podcast with the Kelseys? You know, Heather likes that. So they like watching the Chiefs, which I like. You know, I'm always a guy who likes to watch greatness, no matter what sport or league or whatever it is.
agree.
I always like watching teams that are great. So I've spent a lot of times the last few years watching the Chiefs, and they're just not the same. And just watching these two teams here, Baltimore and Detroit, so much more speed.
Yeah. But you know, they weren't the same last year, really, and they made it to the Super Bowl.
They did, but
it's,
I even think they're a step slower this year.
yeah, their defense is really good, but man, they can only carry them so much. They got to get some support for the offense.
I think Baltimore big.
Baltimore big. Do they have a spread out for this game yet? I'm sure they do,
I
but
think it's like 2.5.
My son's a big Chiefs Mahomes fan, but I think he's getting close to done with them. They're starting to
Hopping off
weaken
the
up.
bandwagon early.
You know how it was.
I'm seeing Baltimore -3
Okay.
in Kansas City. That's pretty surprising.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Baltimore here. You taking Kansas City, Anthony?
Yep.
All right, last game. Not as big of a matchup as we thought it was going to be, but Green Bay at Dallas, both of them take a loss this week. Green Bay, really surprising loss at Cleveland. Like Anthony said, Cleveland's offense is garbage, but their defense is really good. That's still a disappointing loss, disappointing performance for Green Bay. Love didn't look good. People were talking about Green Bay was possibly the best team in the NFL, and I think that we're kind of pulling back on that right now.
I think they can still be really good. They're without their top tight end, and I'm going to tell you,
they're not. They
were playing that game, and I'm not taking nothing away from Love, but he was I think, without his top target, and they were playing that game like we're not going to beat ourselves, and then they beat themselves at the end.
I think that's what they were doing as well. I mean, now that you said that, and sitting there as I, from parts of the game that I was flipping back and forth.
Well, Cleveland's defense is freaking legit, so I think Green Bay bounces back here. I do not think Dallas is good. Their defense is awful, and I don't agree with Anthony. I don't think their offense is great either. I think Green Bay bounces back here. I do think Green Bay's better than what they showed last week against Cleveland. I don't think they're the best team in the NFL, but they'll want this one. They'll want this one after a bad performance. I like LaFleur. This will be a big game. Did we find out Kansas City, Baltimore is at a night game? Or is this the night game? This is the night game. Yeah. This is Sunday night. We're back to two Monday night games next week.
Really? That sucks.
Yeah, the Jets in Miami. I seen somebody said they should flex that to like
Tuesday at noon.
The CW.
Let's go right after Dawson's Creek, baby.
They need to put it somewhere else.
Who's the two Monday night games?
Cincinnati and Denver.
God,
and Miami and the Jets.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
They thought Burrow versus Denver. They thought that was going to be a big matchup, didn't they?
Nope.
Maybe they'll have a new quarterback by then.
But I think it's going to be tough for Dallas. I mean, with that defense, I think, like Winkle said, Green Bay is going to bounce back. CeeDee Lamb, he tried to go again in the second quarter, and he ran a little route towards the end zone, and he tried to take off, went about 6-7 yards, just kind of waved himself out of the game. So if he's out, Green Bay.
High ankle sprain, he'll be a non-factor next week, no matter what.
Yep.
It's going to be an interesting week. What game were we on there? I'm sorry.
Green Bay and Dallas.
Green Bay. I want Green Bay. I think Green Bay is really good.
Green Bay.
Did y'all see where they was offsides on the tush push again yesterday?
Yep.
Dude, they got to do something about that.
I figured they would.
There's that throw I was talking about. What a freaking throw by.
I figured they would call that tighter this week after all the shit that happened.
Dude, they're going to have to do something about that, dude. Like, look,
I figured they would have, because there was a lot. Every sports show was talking.
Well,
about
that's the advantage of that play, is like getting that pinch down so you can get behind it. They're going to have to do something about it, man. I don't think the fans of the NFL are going to stand for that. I really don't. Or they'll just outlaw it next year. But I think I'm going to tell you where I think a problem is with it. People say, well, if you call that, you're going to have to call the offensive tackle thing. We've talked about it.
Right, yeah, we did mention that, yeah.
But I've heard other people make that same argument, that if you're going to change call them on that, you're going to have to call that tighter first. Maybe that's why they're not doing it, because if you say we're going to call that tight, then all of a sudden you're going to have to hold they see that offensive tackle stuff going on. I don't care what they say. They see it. They want more points. That gives the quarterbacks better pockets. It's all about offense. If I was a defensive freaking team, I would cuss, but whatever.
All right. That does it for the NFL. Let's get back to these college football picks. Indiana at Iowa. You know who I got. I got the national champs, Indiana Hoosiers. Hoosiers, as Josh would say.
Hoosiers.
Yeah, I got Indiana. No question. I am not picking Iowa in this game.
Yeah, I got to go with Indiana as well. I don't think Iowa can't score enough points. It's Indiana, the Fighting Signettis.
I'm with you. I'm usually an Iowa guy. I do think Iowa could find a way to muddy the waters. That's what they do. But I just don't. I think Signetti would be ready for him, dude. Signetti, I'm just really high on him as a coach. He might be the best coach out there. I'm a Dan Lanning, Kirby Smart guy. I even like Dabo. I think Dabo still a good coach, but this Signetti might be better than all of them.
Ohio State at Washington. We all want to say this at the same time.
Yeah.
One.
Oh, Ohio State, big.
Yeah. I like the 9, and I think it's. We don't do spreads, but Ohio State, let's go.
Yeah, I think Ohio State big. Coming off of a bye week.
You like Ohio State, right, Anthony?
Yep, I do, because I think they were really probably playing conservative against. I think Texas and Ohio State was probably playing conservative against each other. But once they feel like Texas couldn't get no offense going, that happens. I've heard coaches talk about how games get their own kind of personality to them. And if you're playing as an offensive coordinator or head coach, and you see that team's having struggling moving the ball, you're not going to take a lot of chances. And so maybe there's more to that offense than what and maybe Texas. I do think Texas defense is elite. So facing Washington, yeah, I like Ohio State as well.
LSU at Ole Miss. Anthony, who you got?
Ole Miss. I actually like the game. I'm not saying I think it's a lock, but I think LSU is, and I like them beginning of the year. I think they're fool's gold right now. I really do. So Ole Miss.
There you got.
I'm liking LSU. I think this game's going to be close. I want to see Nussmeier get a little more time in the pocket. Go Tigers.
I'm giving LSU another shot here too. I do think Ole Miss has got a really good team, and maybe this is their year. But I'm going to stick with LSU for one more week. I'm going to see if they can get this thing back on track. So
I'll say this: one of the biggest tragedies in college football last year was Ole Miss not getting in the playoffs. Now, it was rightfully so. I'm not saying it was deserved.
go
They
Cats.
might have been able to compete with Ohio State. They rolled Georgia. I hadn't seen nobody roll Georgia like that in a long time. They just lost some games. They lost to us.
Right.
But I'm telling you, they beat some teams bad
Mm-hmm.
that hadn't been beat bad. They were really talented last year. But sometimes you lose games you ain't supposed to. Life in the SEC.
Auburn at Texas A&M.
7-point A&M.
6.5. I like Auburn in this game. They've been battle tested. I know A&M has too with Notre Dame, but we know my feelings on Notre Dame. Could be just an overrated win there for A&M. But I like Auburn. I like Jackson Arnold. I like the athletes that Auburn has. I think the better quarterback wins this game. Auburn.
I'm Auburn, the 12th man going into College Station, but it can't be no worse than Oklahoma last week. And I've even heard people say that they're a really good atmosphere, but like it's the best. And I've heard people say maybe it's like top 10, top 15-ish, but I've never been there, so I don't know. I'm high on Auburn. I like to see them really get on win streak because I think they got just a damn good ball club. I really do. And the more experience Jackson Arnold gets, he'll get better. And they got a lot of good weapons. I'm really impressed.
I think
really
they
impressed
just played
with
a
that
good
loss
team.
they had. I really was. I think they. I know we disagree a little bit. I think they outplayed them. And on the road like that, I was impressed with that. I really was. Material's he has more experience than Jackson Arnold. I think Jackson Arnold will only get better.
And he won't get sacked 10 times.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, to be sacked 10 times and to get the touchdowns taken off the board and everything, and to still, being right there at the end, actually having the lead late, I was really impressed with him.
We all going with the road.
Road dog.
A&M probably roll them.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
30 to
dude,
12.
I do not like this. I don't like it whatsoever. I've seen this too many times.
That's so right.
I like Auburn too, man.
Fumbles for next week. All of us.
Dude,
all
it's
of us.
always happening. Always. I kind of hate it for all. I almost want to call them up and say, "You freeze, you're fucked." Blitz the Bookie, son. We're all in, and you're fucked.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
I'm rolling with them though, man.
Oh.
I'm right with everything you guys said. Just like the way Auburn plays, and just haven't seen enough from A&M yet to believe in them. If they end up 7-0 here in about a month, I might be a believer. But right now, I'm rolling with the road team. Give me the Tigers. All right, Alabama at Georgia. Between the hedges, who y'all got?
Alabama. I think it's gonna be a hell of a game. I'm not saying that confident.
You said it pretty confident.
Well, I know, but that's who I like. That's who I like. Georgia's going to be really good. So it go either way to me. I'm not real confident on that game, but I'm going to take Alabama.
I'm taking Alabama. I think Ty Simpson's getting a lot more comfortable in that offense. They got their teeth kicked in, a little reality check against Florida State week 1. I think Georgia needs a few more weeks before they peak. Alabama might be able to catch them here.
I do think it helps when you get your teeth kicked in sometimes. You don't want to lose no more. Ford knows he's dead if he loses. So.
Y'all crazy.
Go Dogs.
Y'all crazy. Go Dogs.
Oh.
I'm taking Georgia, no doubt. I do think this is going to be a really good game.
I do too, Charles.
I'm taking the home team, and I think the better coach is going to get the win here. If Alabama does win this game, though, they're right back in it, dude. They're right back in it. So, big game.
If
big
Georgia
game.
wins this game, I feel like they're back in the conversation of being like a major player. I'm not saying they
Georgia's
still
fine
are.
right now.
They
Yeah,
still
they're-
are. But if they win this, they pull that win out against Tennessee. I think they're, but it don't matter. 12-team playoff. You don't got to peak now. You just got to get in the tournament and get right for the end of the year.
Yeah, but with an SEC schedule, you can't stumble up too many times.
Yeah.
All right, game of the week. The Oregon Ducks at Penn State. The Nittany Lions in the whiteout. Happy Valley. Happy Valley, right?
Yeah.
You had Clemson and
Yeah,
LSU, Death Valley. Happy Valley and Penn State.
Whiteout.
A lot of
Whiteout.
rainbows.
Who y'all like? I'm scared of Oregon.
So Penn State
scared
fans
of
were
Oregon.
mad when they faced Ohio State, I think it was, and they put it to 12 o'clock game. They wanted a whiteout. A whiteout's a special scene, guys. If you ain't never seen one at Penn State, I think it's one of the best home field advantages in college football. But the whiteout scene, just in general, out there at Happy Valley, is really cool. We had a chance to go to the Big Ten championship game last year of this matchup, and I'm going to just tell you, Penn State fans, If you're somebody like myself, they're my kind of people. They're good, down-to-earth people. I like their fans. I've always been kind of a Penn State kind of closet fan. So, but I got a lot of money invested in the Ducks. I'm big on both Moores, Dakarian Moore, and I should have been picked. Oh my baby Jesus! I can't let those goes in these kind of games. But anyhow, I think Penn State could win or lose. Same for Auburn, and still win the national title. But I think a win right now would go a long way in making you feel a lot more comfortable about your situation getting into the playoff. I think both of these teams get in the playoff, but I'm going to go Oregon. I do think if Oregon ain't better now, I think Oregon will be better by the end of the year.
Well, I guess we know who you're taking unless you got a Penn State.
It stands for Onan. This is my last name. This is Onan jersey.
Unless you got a Penn State jersey under there that you're about to rip that thing off and take Penn State, I guess you're going with the Ducks.
So y'all didn't know. This is not my vape.
You vape now?
This is not my vape. This is my...
The Duck Commander, baby. Go Ducks!
Oh, shit. I thought I seen one fly through.
They got the best mascot in football, baby.
Oh.
This is actually not a quack call. This is called a Mallard Drake call. It's the first duck call I ever bought, so I bought the wrong one. I don't know what ducks are flying into Happy Valley. I don't even know this works, but it's not a vape, but it's a damn duck call. I know all my buddies from Henry
What's
County.
a mallard?
I mean, a mallard's a type of duck.
Is it a duck?
Yeah, a mallard's a duck. A mallard's like the green head or the brown ones you see around here. That's a mallard.
Okay.
But
right, so
yeah,
I
bought this at Academy Sports, and I know all my friends in Henry County make fun of me because this city boy is not a hunter. So I should have just borrowed one from y'all.
And you need to work on that too, because I think the squeaking noise ain't really supposed to be.
I watch YouTube videos from Willie Robertson and all the Duck Dynasty guys. It's the best I got.
What do you got to do? Something special? You gotta...
That's just how it goes. It's not supposed to quack, and I've been practicing. It's a different type of a call.
You gotta get some. Do you got any decoy?
Hey, but again, I think this is the type of game that James Franklin can win because he's known to not win the big ones. I got my call here.
You sure you're not going to rip that off and show a Penn State shirt underneath?
Nope. Ducks all the way. Quack, quack.
Quack,
quack, quack, Mr. Ducksworth.
Man, I love the Mighty Ducks, but I think I'm going to have to go with my preseason pick to win the national championship. I'm scared of Oregon. I'm not going to lie, but I'm hoping that the home field advantage can do it for them. I got me a snack this week. I had 3 snacks. Who'd you pick?
I want Oregon.
Yeah,
Oregon.
You don't get one.
Oh, man.
You don't get one. The home of Hershey, Pennsylvania.
The best team Nike can buy, baby.
Give me the Nittany Lions.
From Hershey, Pennsylvania.
I don't think they're in Hershey, but look, Hershey's in Pennsylvania and Penn State in Pennsylvania. I'm rolling with the Nittany Lions. I haven't watched them play yet. I have watched Oregon, but I'm taking Penn State.
I like it.
Oregon, best team Nike can buy, baby.
Here, take you a chocolate bar.
Thank you, buddy.
Take you a chocolate
Hey, I like
bar.
mine with nuts. Solid slate Saturday, guys. Y'all tune in. Ladies, too.
Yeah.
Quality football this weekend.
As always, thank you all for listening. Check us out on all the social media accounts. I know I'm slobbering in the mic right now. I'm eating this chocolate bar. It's good.
Chocolate is good.
That does it for the first half. Catch us right back on the second half, the right side of Kentucky Sports. Blitz the Bookie.
See ya.
Holla.
Charlie got the mic, he's dropping facts all day. Anthony's like, nah, I got the better parlay. Argue about the spread, it's a fierce debate. But when it comes to Wildcats, they align their fate. Blitz the bookies where the knowledge reigns. Charlie and Anthony bring the heat like flames. Talking parlays, breaking down the games. Kentucky Wildcats, they beat the same drums. Late nights, hustle deals on the line. Charlie Scassy's gonna make you shine. Anthony's heart where the numbers combine. Put your cash down, ride the incline. Blitz the bookies where the knowledge reigns. Charlie and Anthony bring the heat like flames. Talking parlays, breaking down the Kentucky Wildcats, they beat the same drums. From the tip-off to the final play, they grind. Mike's on fire, bets on their minds. Arguing odds till the last rewind. Blue and white, it's a bond you'll find. The bookies where the knowledge reigns. Charlie and Anthony bring the heat like flames. Talking parlays, breaking down the games. Kentucky Wildcats, they beat the same drums. Final play, they grind. Mike's on fire, bets on their minds. Arguing odds till the last rewind. Blue and white, it's a bond you'll find. Bond you'll find. Blitz the bookies where the knowledge reigns. Charlie and Anthony bring the heat like flames. Talking parlays, breaking down the games. Kentucky Wildcats, they beat the same drums. Yeah.